Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great show for today, and I'm calling it, We Each Write the Story of Our Lives, One Choice at a Time. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned. I'll get started right after the break. I'm really not sure what it is about my theme today that captures me. I guess it's because there is such truth in the simple statement that we each write the story of our lives one choice at a time. Regrets or joy, we make choices every hour, every day, every month, every year, and we'll do so for the rest of our lives. And while those choices will be a reflection of what we love or once loved, cared about, or decided to toss out, something we fought for or something we fought against, the choices we will make will, for the most part, help us to become who we are or decide who we will not be. Every day the sun comes up and you're still with us. You are writing the next page of your story. It would be fascinating to acknowledge what stories you add in and which stories you purposely leave out, which ones you embellish and which ones you play down, which stories you enjoy telling and which ones you've buried so far down in your memory you've almost forgotten them. One of the great things about life is, as we look back, is that many times we can see the bumps or forks in a road that took us down another well-worn path. Not the one we thought we needed to plow or wanted to take, yet here we are. I like to hear others' stories. In my effort to get to know people, I often ask, what's their interest? What did they like to do when they were younger or when they were in school, or what adventure they took that at one time they thought might be their career path that they would travel for life? Seems that in my unscientific survey, very few people are in the field they thought they would be in due to opportunities or job advancement or a stroke of luck that has handed them breaks, which allowed them to find a job they love or like well enough to hold their interest and pay the bills. Many times I hear stories of how one day the phone rang and a friend invited me or a seat was empty and my friend took advantage of the situation and the rest is history, as they say. I'm sure that some listeners and readers of my post and podcast can with an instant relive an unexpected joyful moment that will be forever imprinted in their minds. They can, down to the most minute detail, tell the story over and over, never missing a point of interest. And others shake their heads over some unfortunate choice that were made and still linger in the memories that are stuck in the past. No matter which side of the story you find yourself on, just remember, until you pass from this earth, friend, your story isn't over, and you get to write the final chapter any way you choose. It could be a mystery, a love story, or a grand adventure. With the truthful understanding that we each write the story of our lives one choice at a time, this might be a good time to stop and assess where we are and where we're headed. I think it's worth a reminder that if you've made mistakes in your past and have done what you can to make the situation right, if you've apologized or done what you could have within reason to make it right, then move on with your life. You know that I am all for shutting the door and throwing away the key, never to be found or opened again. Why? Because I say leave the past behind and walk into the next chapter of your future. Don't turn back any of the pages. To that point, hear the words of the poet Osho, who said, "Suffering is not holding you, you're holding suffering. When you become good at the art of letting suffering go, then you'll come to realize how unnecessary it was for you to drag those burdens around with you. You'll see that no one else, except you, was responsible. The truth that exists wants your life to become a festival. I like that. A festival. And if you've done great things and have been successful, friend, celebrate. I commend you on being an example of self-won accomplishment. It's not easy to do these days, so stop and revel in your successful work. I was reading a post online last week, and the topic was about the need to slow down and celebrate life as it is. Celebrate the good jobs, the successes, and adventures in life. And the reason this is so important is that with each pleasant memory, we build remembrances of happy times to hold us closely when the times aren't so great. Since we each write the story of our lives one choice at a time, I think it's incumbent on us to make the memories of good times with good friends and family as bold and as memorable as we can, searing the memory into our minds to be our touch point when the times get tough and life is hard. As you can well imagine, going back to a happier time will make whatever hardship you're going through today, it'll make it just a bit easier. So friend, get started on your good memories. Make that call to the friend with whom you promised to go deep sea fishing, or take that ride down the California coast and see nature up close and personal. Visit that teacher, coach, pastor, or neighbor who showed you love and acceptance when others passed you by. Your choice of memory making might be the bit of joy that they need to brighten their day. As with the story of your life, the choices you make in your decisions to bring happiness to others will pay dividends far above what you would ever expect. Life just works that way. And if you do your part, you will keep memories alive. I have to admit, I'm an avid reader. I love stories of history because I think once the past becomes blasé and forgettable, so much more is lost than the place and people who were the life of the town. History's erased, memories are eroded, and then forgotten. I think that's why I'm drawn to metal detecting. It's my hobby. It brings history to life, even for a moment. When I find a piece of history or a coin from the past deep in the soil, I reflect on those who once walked that way. I'd like to push you towards memories that are happy and leave you with a sense of calm and well-being. I'm not interested in stirring up old hurts and regrets. It serves no purpose for your amazing future to dwell on things that still cause the heat of pain. And to that point, if others keep piling up your past mistakes for all to see and gossip about, then you need to excuse yourself from the party and find a new avenue on which to build your new memories with new friends. One of my favorite writers, Steve Maraboli, says, "If people refuse to look at you in a new light, and they can only see you for what you were, only see you for what mistakes you've made, if they don't realize that you are not your mistakes, then you have to go." I love that. Because it's true, and you and I unfortunately have friends who always want to bring up the mistake we made years ago. And they do that because they're a little bit psycho and because they've got nothing in their life and they're jealous of you and I. Hey, we can't fix that, but we can find new friends. Remember, don't drag your past with you. Let it go and live the life you've imagined or reimagined for your next chapter. Listen, how exciting is it to dream about what you will do next if you'll just lighten up and stop stressing over the minutia of your day-to-day routine? Don't let life make you old before your time. Friend, choose differently. The famous children's writer Leo Buscaglia wrote, "Let go. Why do you cling to pain? There is nothing you can do about the wrongs of yesterday. It's not yours to judge. Why hold on to the very thing that keeps you from hope and love?" He's right. And I can add, it's a good question, friend. Why do you purposefully block the gifts of hope and love? You got to stop acting and thinking that you don't deserve to be loved and cared for. Stop being a martyr. It doesn't look good on you. In fact, it's not your storyline. So erase your poor opinion of yourself and rewrite it to that of a champion, a hero, a conqueror, a winner at life. Because you are. We each write the story of our lives one choice at a time. So draw your line in the sand and choose to live on the bright side of the street. You've got choices. You can decide when and where and how you will respond to life as it comes to you. And never forget, you are in charge of yourself. So make wise choices that reflect your values, your heart, your soul, and the things you love. Go ahead, start writing today. Because friend, we each write the story of our lives, one choice at a time. All right, that's a great one. You have to admit it. I do get excited when I come across these ideas and we turn them into a podcast and newsletter, simply because it refreshes me as much as I hope it does you. So friend, you've been listening to Encouragement for Your Life with Deb Sofield, and I hope you'll join me next week because I've got another great show that I want to share with you as we work towards a better day. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you, and I want you to understand that I care not just because you're somebody on the radio or a friend or someone who listens or buys my books or comes to my conferences. I care because I believe it's going to take all of us to change the world. It takes a lot to rewrite the story of your life. It takes a powerful person to step in and say, this is not how the story's going to end. And here's one thing I'm going to give you, and that's this. I will walk alongside you so we can follow your dream to a better day together. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all turns out. All right, everybody, take care. Join me next week. Have a great weekend.